Watch me transform this image into this image using Photoshop. Hello everyone, photographer Andredesignz here with a new retouch video. So it has been days since I've done a new video. I've been so busy, but I've been getting a lot of messages saying that, hey, we love your videos and we need more. So I had to, do this one today. Alright, so this image was shot in natural light. What that means is that I did not use any flash, any type of lighting, just the natural light outside. It was about, I don't remember, maybe it's about 1 o'clock, or no, not 1 o'clock. I think it was about 11 in the morning, somewhere there. The image here is a raw image. As you can see, it's in camera raw because it was shot in camera raw, and I used a Nikon D750 for this image, along with the 85mm Nikon lens. I was shooting at 1.8 at ISO 100, and the shutter was 800 over 1/800 of a second. Alright, so quickly, I'm just gonna edit this image. I'm just gonna try the auto, see what it looks like. Okay, auto looks good. Then I'm gonna tweak it a little bit. Run about right here. I shot it down a little bit. A little vibrant color, contrast a little bit right there. Good. So this looks good. Alright, so I'm gonna start to edit this image. I'm using a pen to actually edit. It's called X Pen. I'm gonna put a link in the description for the tablet I'm actually using, and let's get right ahead in editing this image. Alright, so I'm gonna do frequency separation. That's the first thing. I have an action here. I'm going to put it in the description. I always edit in 16-bit. The radius is 14. That should be good. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for my mixer brush. And what we're going to do is to blend out the image. Right? So we're going to work on the lower frequency layer. And with the mixer brush at 1%, the wet at 1%, you're just gonna paint on the skin. So when you're using the mixer brush, you have to ensure that when you're working on the light area, you stay in the light area. When you're working the dark area, you stay in the dark area. You don't want to go back and forth like this. Alright? And what the mixer brush does, it blends the skin basically. Alright, so let me do it right now. And the reason why it's good for you to use the mixer brush first, when it blends out the skin, it also softens the pimples on the skin, right? And if the makeup is not applied properly, you can also soften that as well. And then you can, add your own highlights to it if you need to. Alright, so I'm now blending the skin. There are times though you can actually go from bright to dark just a little bit, just to even out the skin. You don't want to have one part showing bright, one part showing dark. But not like that actually. But you don't want to have a straight line between the highlight and the dark area. So sometimes you can do it, but you just want to stay in the one line like this. Alright, so let me do the nose. Using this pen, I work really fast, and I like that. The mouse takes a longer time actually, but when you get used to the mouse, it works for you. But I wasn't enjoying the mouse much. Alright, so I'm blending the neck. Try not to blend out the mole that's right there. Blend in the chest. Alright. Then the arm. Get my brush a little bit bigger. And even if you certain area of the skin, if you use the mixer brush and it's flattened the skin, you can always use dodge and burn to get it back. So what you would do, you just hide the layer to see what it was before, and then you could just use your dodge and burn to get it back. Alright, so that's the before, that's the after. So I'm gonna do a little bit more mixing. Let me go down to the finger. Also, if the model has vein, you can also use a mixer brush to get rid of it. It softens the veins, and then you can just go right ahead with your clone stamp tool to get rid of the vein from the skin or from the hand. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to the clone stamp tool. Mine is at 100%. And then I'm going to go to the top layer. That's the high frequency layer, and then I'm going to clean up the skin. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold down on Alt to sample the skin, sample the area I want to get the. So you're going to sample an area that is clean in order to clean the pimple from the skin. So each time I hold on Alt and click on the skin to get the area that I want. You should not move too fast when you're doing this. I'm experienced, so I mean I can move as fast as I want because I know exactly what I want. And when you're learning, it's best to take your time to see, you know, what you're doing and see how effective it is. Alright. And for the sake of the video, I don't want it to be too long. So that's why I'm moving so fast as well. Alright. Right here. So the model did her own makeup. I have no problems if they want to do their own makeup. Once you know exactly what to apply, how to apply it, using the correct foundation, I'm good. I don't always need a professional makeup artist, but it's always good to have a professional makeup artist on set. You'll have less work in your editing and your images will look better. Alright, looks good so far. Let's look at the before and after. Before, after, before, after. So see, I'm not using a flash. I still have a good image. You just have to learn your camera, learn the settings on your camera, and watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to shoot natural light. I might just do some videos on that as well, some behind the scene videos, but you don't necessarily need to have light all the time. Alright, just moving the hair from the eyelid right here. So these little things, you have to remove them because that's what's gonna make your image look really, really good. These little things that you're seeing, you might think that it's too small and no one will see it, but trust me, people will see it. So it's good to zoom up into your image and sorry about that, that's my machine. I'm not sure if you're hearing that. Alright, so I'm finished with Alright, so now that I'm finished using the clone stamp tool, I'm going to clean her teeth. Alright, so I'm gonna create an adjustment layer very quickly. So the first thing I'm gonna do, go down to this adjustment layer icon. I'm going to select channel mixer. Gonna change this to monochrome. For red, it's going to be 131. It's gonna be minus 131. For the green, it's going to be plus think it's 135. For the blue, it's going to be 55, so your total should be 59. Alright, I'm gonna go on to the, we're gonna change this to screen. Good. Then we're gonna go back down to the adjustment layer tool here, and we're going to click on what's it again, hue saturation. Good. We're going to go to the yellow, and for the hue it's going to be plus 11. For saturation it's going to be minus 74, and for the lightness I think it's plus 84. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hold down on Control and select the lower layer, and then Control and G to put it in a group. Then I'm going to go back, I'm going to go down to the bottom here where it says this is the masking tool. Add a mask by holding on Control, and then I'm going to name this Clean Teeth. Good. Then I'm going to get my brush, I'll put my flow about 21%, and then select the layer. Ensure that your foreground is at white, because your layer over here is black. So if this is white, you'd have to put the top layer would actually have to be black. Alright, so you're now going to reveal what's behind it. So I'm just going to paint teeth here. I could do the eyes as well. Could use the same technique for the eyes. Alright, let's look at the before and after. So before, after, before, after. Good. So that's done. Let me see. Alright, so the next step now is to do the dodge and burn. Alright, so it has been a long time since I've done a dodge and burn layer, so let's see if I remember how to do it. So we're going to come down to the adjustment layer tool or icon, and I'm going to go to curve. I'm going to name this burn. I'm going to create two of them, so it's Control J to do another layer, and I'm going to name this dodge. How do you spell dodge again? D-G-E. Good. Alright, so I'm going to work on the lower layer now. So what you're going to do, I spell bun. Should be burn. Alright, so for this layer I'm going to put multiply, and then I'm going to invert it by holding on Control I, and then for this layer, the dodge layer, it's going to be screen, I believe, right? And then I'm going to invert it, Control I. If you want to put it in a group, you can, but I'm not going to put this in a group right now. I'm just going to work on the layer. Alright, so I'm going to work on the burn layer first. The burn layer is basically the darker areas of the photo. For example, the contour, where they'll do the light area, the dark area, to give the skin, to give the face a shape. So sometimes it's best for you to turn off the frequency separation layer to see what the original was, so you can, do it the right way. So I'm going to turn off the frequency separation layer, and I'm going to work on the burn, the darker areas now. For the brush, the flow, I'm going to put the flow at about 2%, and then I'm going to ensure that my foreground layer is white, because I'm painting on a black layer, and I'm going to start with painting the nose. My brush is at 0%, and it's a soft brush. Alright, let me see what that looks like. Alright, good. So I'm gonna go right here, come down to the neck, the arm, all the areas that has a little, that looks dark. Alright, so I'm giving the image a shape, the face and the image itself. Alright, I'm gonna go over to my dodge, all the light areas, and the chin, the shoulder, alright. I think I put too much right here in the chest. That's one. Good. Alright, I'm gonna turn on about the frequency separation layer, and that's what we've done. I'm gonna look at the before and then the after of everything that I've done. So I'm gonna hold on an Alt on the keyboard and then press on the I right here. So that's the before. This is the after. Before, after, before, after. I would blend here a little bit, so I'm gonna go back down to my low frequency layer, and then I'm gonna select my mixer brush and blend right here a little bit. Good. Alright. I'm not sure if you can notice that the neck is a little bit darker than the lower part of the chest area and the arm. I'm gonna fix that by creating a new layer. I'm gonna get my brush and put it at about 2% should be good, and then I'm gonna sample this area of the skin, the lighter part of the skin, and then I'm gonna paint it directly under the neck. Can be a little bit dark because there's no light going there, but where light should be, or where I believe light should be, I'm just gonna light up a little bit. Alright, so look at the before and the after. So the neck is a little bit lighter. Alright, you have to ensure that your flow is at 2 or 1% because you don't want it to look fake. Alright, so that's that. So that's a little trick, you know, to lighten up certain part of the skin. Alright, I'm going to, let me see before and after. I'm going to lower the opacity a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so what next to do with this image? Alright, so I'm going to do some more adjustment in Camera Raw. So I'm going to make a new layer of this image. So I'm going to hold on Control, Shift, Alt, and E. And then I'm going to Control J to create a second one. And then I'm going to Control Shift A. That will give me the Camera Raw. And you can also go to Filter. Let me see. You can also go to Filter, Camera Raw. Alright. I am going to put some clarity in the hair of the model. Alright. So the clarity will, you know, if the hair looks a little bit dry, you can use clarity to let it look a little more wet. Alright. So I'm going to go down to Alt, and then I'm going to apply the mask on it. I'm going to go to my brush and put my brush at about 73%, and then I'm going to paint, get it a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to paint the hair in. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it at 100%. I'm just going to paint it in. We can paint the clothing as well if you wish. Alright, so that looks good. I think I want to add a little black. I'm going to add black to it as well, so I'm going to do the same thing, create a new layer. Control A. I'm going to go down to the blacks and apply some blacks to the hair. Alright, I'm going to add a mask again. Control, hit the mask. Get my brush and just paint in some of the areas I want to have black. Alright, good. So I'm going to put everything here in a group. Control G, and do a before and after. Before, after, before, after. Good. So I am going to do, I'm going to color the image a little bit. So I'm going to go down to the adjustment layer tool, or icon, and I'm going to go to color balance. I'm going to work in the shadows. I put this about 7%. You don't want to go too much, you just need to add a little. So let's look at the before, after. So that's, yeah, I think we'll put it at 6. Then I'm gonna play with the cyan a little bit. Alright, cyan at about 1%. Right. Alright, so I'm gonna blend out the arm a little bit. I'm seeing that we have a lot of highlights right here. That's not good. So I'm gonna blend out a little bit. So I'm just gonna merge everything. And then I'm gonna create a new frequency separation layer. I'm gonna work on the lower layer. I'm gonna go down to, well, I'm gonna go to my mixer brush. Mixer brush, the wet is at 1%. And I'm gonna mix it. Alright, so look at the before and the after. Right, that looks better to me. I think I want to mix the neck here a little bit. So a lot of times when you're doing your edits, there are times you're gonna, maybe move away from your screen and come back, and you're gonna realize that some things you have to change. And that's exactly what just happened. Alright, so that's it so far for this image. I don't think there's anything else I need to do with this image. It's just time for me to post this to Instagram. Alright, so I'm not sure if you're hearing that plane passing, but there's a plane passing right now. I think it's a here taxi. Alright, so I'm through with editing this image. Just gonna save it and I'm gonna upload it to Instagram or maybe to my website. If you enjoy this video, just like, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can actually get notification when there's a new video out. And remember to follow me on Instagram at Andredesignz. And yeah, look out for more videos. Thanks for watching.